Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and today I'm here to tell you the 7 things that I like about the LG G4. And next week I'll tell you the 7 things that I don't like about the LG G4. One thing I like that doesn't really count in my list is that T-Mobile gave this to me as a review unit, and for that I'm very grateful. Otherwise I wouldn't have a chance to tell you about it. I could have talked about it even if I didn't have it, but it's a lot better to talk about things that you've actually experienced. Number 1, the camera's photo quality can be outstanding in certain shots. What's that flashing? Oh, come on. You didn't think I was going to do a video without at least one Star Wars reference. Seriously, the camera is probably the most impressive feature of the LG G4. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that you've seen the shots that people have been taking with this sucker. They're amazing. Shots compare nicely against other leading Android phones these days, as well as compared against shots taken with an iPhone. Am I really sitting here and saying that an Android phone has a better camera than an Apple product? Yeah. Kinda. Not necessarily for every single shot that I took. As a matter of fact, I really wasn't impressed with the HDR features of the camera app. However, number 2 is actually the camera app, which is outstanding. Very powerful, very configurable. Probably the most configurable, most detailed camera app I've seen on any mobile platform ever. You want to tweak any possible setting before you take your photo? You can with this app. While it's no replacement for a DSLR, then again, what smartphone camera app is, it's still pretty cool. And absolutely for all you power users out there. Number 3, it comes with the latest version of Android, Lollipop! In a day and age when most flagship phones don't necessarily have the latest version of Android, I think that's a step in the right direction. Kudos to you, LG, for making this phone lickably good. Unless you're the type of person who really doesn't want the latest operating system on your phone. Moving on to the 4th thing that I like about the LG G4, the screen is crisp and vibrant. The colors, if they're washed out at all, don't seem to be that way, at least to my eye. Or eyes, because I have 2. Actually, I have 4. Media looks good, and text? Bellissimo! This is the kind of screen you want on your smartphone, if only because, well, that's really what you're staring at 24/7. You want it to be good, and this is a good screen. How does it compare against other screens? Well, it depends on what you're comparing it against, and you also have to remember that sometimes this is subjective. Number 5, the back plate can be swapped out for another. They happened to give me one that reminded me a lot of a football. Did I mention that it's durable? Look, Ma! No cracks! Let's go ahead and remove the back, if only to demonstrate number 6, a swappable battery and SD card support.
Technically speaking, it's micro SD card support.
What's that you say? Your battery's dead? Well, why don't you swap it for a full one? Unless your current flagship Android phone doesn't have that feature anymore. As the device is booting up again, let me go ahead and tell you about number 7. It's that LG's interface, their experience on top of stock Android, really wasn't that difficult to accommodate. Sometimes when you have an intermingling of UI ethos, it gets to be a bit jarring. I didn't find that LG's modifications were that heavy-handed, and even when I noticed a dialogue was designed differently, it wasn't unpleasing to the eye. Could LG have done a better job with their software tweaks? Of course, but I'd say that about any company. And in case you forgot the thing that I said very clearly at the beginning of this video, next week I'm recording a separate video about the things I didn't like about the LG G4. I've decided to do it that way, if only to sit back and be entertained by the people who only decide to watch one of my videos out of the thousands that I've done. So there you go. I hope you appreciated the approach, but at this point I'm going to leave you to your own devices.